Look at the numbers here, Al. The one you focused on, or the one you pointed out to me, Al, his strikeout percentage. League average of striking out batters for pitchers, roughly 22%, somewhere in that area.
Yes.
Spencer Strider, Al, is striking out over 39% of the batters he faces.
Yeah, it really is. It's like next level stuff. You got average major league pitchers striking out about 22%. That's the number. 40% of the time. And
hold on. I think this is a big start for him. Okay?
Yeah, after last night.
I think the world's starting to find out who this dude is.
Good.
Okay? Metsies, Max Scherzer walks in. They were about to make it a half a game behind the Mets. Nope. Max says,
But
I want to say, moment-wise, I think this is his biggest start.
Oh, yeah. I mean, come on.
But he throws 100 miles an hour, so do you really worry when you got that stuff?
Well, I'm going to ask you as we go along here, because not only does he throw 98 to 100 miles an hour, but he throws it 70% of the time, which is why I want to get you to help me with this. Okay, Spencer Strider. I find this fascinating and very interesting for a guy that was relatively unknown, and it was mostly because of injury. And I want to go back. Yeah, born in Ohio, raised in Knoxville, Tennessee area. Where is Waldo? He was up in the upper left, folks, with Spencer. This was a draft, 4th round out of Clemson in 2019. He was already a Tommy John guy. So he hurt at Clemson, but here I want to show something discernible right here. Lucas, when he starts his delivery, would you back up on the backside of his delivery? All right. So I go through a lot of this, right?
Yeah, no, I love it.
So his long arm in the back, we saw it with Giolito and Shane Bieber and others that are trying to get shorter arm efficiency to be in position to not be late for the dreaded Tommy John. So come back out here, Lucas, go forward and stop when he's at his longest extension in his back, behind his back. Just set Clem, stop right there. Okay. Just remember this, D-Row. Just take a look at that. That looks rather conventional for a lot of guys, right? So this being longer puts guys in a vulnerable position at foot contact to be late, and therefore
it's the one thing of doing these skyboxes with you for 7 years that I look for at these youth tournaments at foot contact. If you are not close, because I wasn't. I pitched in high school, and I go through my motion, I'm here.
There are a lot of guys like that. And then this is where it's not absolute, because I could say these things are like, hey, what about that guy? And hey, what about that guy? I know there's outliers. They're Chris Sales.
But my arm hurt all the time.
So if you're in foot contact, you want to be ready to throw the baseball, because this is the fulcrum of you transferring your weight and being ready to throw. And if you're ready to throw, you use the big muscles.
Suck it in.
As opposed to leading with the elbow. Okay, go ahead, play it. All right, so I wanted to show that. All right, so 4th round, really an exceptional arm, and the Braves knew there was potential there. Okay.
Look at that difference.
All right, so there's no Fugazi here, because I went back with Claudia. I wanted to make sure that the longest part of his arm action in the backside, where is it? And this was it. Now I know, and I'm being straight here, I know that it's a little deceiving because where are the angles, right? It's a little left center or directly more behind like there at Truist Field. All right, but everybody see this?
It's so obvious.
It's very obvious. So you do this because you want to be in better position to allow your chest, your abdomen, your bigger muscles to do the work so that your arm's not late. So right there, even his front side never gets up to this point. So it's discernible. And you had mentioned about he was on with Friedman, with the pitching ninja. About
talking
so
about
there's a transformation for this guy of what happened. Go ahead, play it, Lucas. Okay, so that was actually this year here in 2022. But so he doesn't play in 2020. Minor leagues. So if you watch here, it's a little more efficient. He's not as much. He went from A-ball, AA, and AAA. And last year he got called up. He had 2 games against the Mets. But this is delivery. You can see there's a dynamic thing about him, right? He's got massive legs.
Massive legs.
Huge workout guy. As I said, he came back here. He gave up, I think, a home run. He gave up a run in the 2 1/3 innings that he pitched last year. But you see where he's going. Efficiency. And this is I'm coming at you. There's no trickery here. I throw 97 to 100 plus, and I got a slider. Occasional change up to left-handers. All right. Back that up. Yeah, this guy's become a little bit of a folklore now.
I'm telling you.
So he's got the what is it, Luigi or Mario Brothers on the
he looks more
video
like
game.
He's looking more like Sam Elliott from Tombstone.
WB Mason.
There you go. Yeah.
So he went from the beard to this, and the kids are starting to dig on this. So go ahead. Yeah, look at this. Every guy, they wear the little mustache, they think it's cute. And he's playing on it because he's got the goods. So what do we have? I mean, it is just, well, you see here, fastball, sliders. He's coming at, had some early part of the season. These were some relief games that he had. The Braves like, all right, well, let's start him. And this was the first start that he had. And again, aggressive, athletic delivery that is coming after the hitter, and there's very little trickery. And you started this thing by saying this is a big start tonight, and I agree with you. Stop right there. Back it up. Let me show this here. So this is up to this point. I don't know which exactly game is this. And this is where I'm curious with you. These changeups are mostly almost exclusive to lefties. You have a guy that's going to throw 7 out of 10 pitches to you. You're getting a heater. I mean, it's that explosive and dynamic and special for the type of fastball
he talks about his ride through the zone of his heater. He doesn't fall in love with velocity, even though he's going to sit 97 to 100. Talks about that spin rate, creating that almost effect that the ball's not being dragged down by gravity.
And I'm gonna at the end here we got a board I'm gonna explain why there's that illusion that you guys can't hit. See this right here, D-Row?
Yeah.
So if you were to do a squat, you're going to be in the gym right now. How do you do your feet? Where are your feet in relation? You got to squat right here, big bar on your back. What are you going to do with it?
Shoulder width apart, maybe.
No, but how are your feet going to be? Are you going to do this?
A little pigeon-toed out, we'll get down into it.
This right here, for some guys, especially with a hip rotation, it puts them in a more powerful position. Maddox used to talk about that, how Mad Dog, the angle of, now Maddox was so precise, Greg Maddox, greatest pitchers ever. On the pitcher's rubber, if he wanted to go inside, he used it as a rudder of a directional thing. I'm going inside to the righty, kind of slightly, ever so slight. Guys with explosive fastballs, you're trying to put yourself in position of a more powerful push.
Yeah.
And that right there it's ever so slight, and that's why he's doing it. I wanted to show that. Okay, go ahead and play it. But there's so much to like about a guy, obviously, with stuff. We all marvel at this. There's nothing, he's not being cute here. If you look at this, he's not trying to hit corners down the way. Back up here.
So balanced.
But play this again at extension, and Lucas, right at the finish, just stop. Now, what I want to show is, keep going. Right there. Okay. Major league pitchers on average is 6.3 inches to the plate, right? So you got the rubber. Most guys are landing around 5.5 to 6 feet. It's about 85% of your height. And a lot of guys, they don't really. What's my best angle? A lot of guys. Yeah, right here. Thank you. A lot of guys here. If you can get further out, it gives a hitter.
Oh, I think Max Scherzer showed it last night. His ball, he almost serves it.
So the more I could get further to you, and let's just say I throw 90, it's 0.438 of a second, and I can now throw it and let it go here for you to identify what is it, fastball, slider, curveball, where is it, is the ball or the strike, and then I have to swing. And if I give you that much more time, it's milliseconds. This guy, 6 feet tall. I know we got Marcus Stroman, we got our own Pedro Martinez and David Cohn, different guys, 6 feet tall, and he's got a 6'9" extension, and he didn't have that in the minor leagues. So really? I don't know who the Braves are talking, how he's convinced, be able to make adjustments to get further out front. So on top of throwing 99 miles an hour, he's got a perceived velocity that gives him greater velocity with respect to what the eyeballs see. Okay, go ahead, Lucas. I couldn't accentuate that more. All right, here we go. So the highest average fastball velocities this year. Hunter Green, 6'5". Garrett Cole, 6'4". Alcantara, 6'5". You see it. Ohtani. Here's a little dude right here, 195, 6 feet. And then we got the extension that I was just kind of
average
belaboring.
Velocity, 99 miles an hour.
This is really interesting to me, and maybe not to people out there, but this is not easy to do. because you have to do a lot of things in your delivery, timing, rhythm, and tempo to get further out. So, guys are afraid to make, what do I do? How do I get out there? Do I push a little harder? Is that going to mess up my control?
I think that's the biggest thing, and I'll throw it back to Rofalo. The biggest thing with today's generation, they're willing to tinker because they have so much data. We were so scared to tinker because I didn't have no data backing if I made this change, it would work.
Good point, good point. You had like an old-time coach going, hey, you got to
stay the course, stay the course, stay. So you just fought, right?
Which nothing wrong with old-time coaches.
I would have tinkered for days now.
But here, let me, so there's so much data, but you also better have a coach that could translate the data.
Yeah, no doubt.
Digest it and then regurgitate it to player X,
so you can
who might not be a dude going to MIT or is not coming out of University of Pennsylvania. How do I get you or a guy like me to understand it?
Yeah.
And that's the specialty of a good coach today.
What I tell Robert. How do I help me help you? Help me help you.